Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 17 minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Monday morning, the 25th day of August, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we're broadcasting at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice anywhere else on the planet, you've gone to our website to do that, or maybe you're listening through the new KSJE app. It's great to have you with us this morning. Welcome also to our viewers who are joining us. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everybody. So glad that you are with me, because coming up, we're getting an update back to school from the Central Consolidated School District. Classes are well underway at CCSD. Stay tuned for an update on a lot of their programs and activities coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Then later on this hour, we'll be checking in with my friend Lewis Campbell, talking about technology news on our Monday Reboot segment that you'll hear and see today at 8:50 a.m. on KSJE. Next hour, of course, it is Mick Hess, Roving with the Arts, our weekday classical music program. That is coming up less than an hour from now on KSJE. You can also connect with us on other social media platforms like Instagram, Blue Sky, and X. And if you're a podcast listener, a reminder, you can subscribe to KSJE podcasts. They're available wherever you listen to podcasts, so check it out and discover a new local program that you may have missed, or maybe just listen through the app, the new KSJE app, available now at the App Store and Google Play. Podcasts are there, live streaming is there, much, much more. Check it out and stay connected on the go. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a partly cloudy Monday morning, 65 degrees at the moment. We're expecting another 50% chance of scattered showers today with a high of 82 in Farmington. More chances for rain tonight, the low 65. Another chance for rain tomorrow, 70% on Tuesday and Wednesday. Cooler temperatures, 76 for a high on Tuesday, 75 on Wednesday before things start to warm back up on Thursday with partly sunny skies, a high of 78. Partly sunny on Friday, 80 degrees, 81, 82 on Saturday and Sunday. I'll be back with my guests with more right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Michlin Morning Program on KSJE.
My guest this morning, as I mentioned, from the Central Consolidated School District, Superintendent Steve Carlson is with us this morning. Mr. Carlson, welcome back to KSJE. Good to have you here. Also,
Scott.
Public Relations Manager Jerrod Noble is here as well for the district. Jerrod, welcome back to you. Good to have you here as well.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks for being here, all of you. And as I mentioned, classes are off and running, and the semester is off to a good start. So, Mr. Carlson, things looking pretty good for your staff and students who are back to class.
Our staff are ready. Our students are ready.
Excellent.
And we've been up and running since August, what was it, 6th?
Yeah, yep,
The first day, yeah. So a few weeks now, right?
Yes.
So very, very good. And you wanted to mention a little bit about enrollment. You're watching that very carefully, I know, because that's a big indicator of funding and things like that for school districts around the state, including Central Consolidated. How is that numbers looking for you?
Scott, thanks for asking that. That's not one of my favorite things to talk about, so I didn't want to start off with that. But since we did,
okay.
It's okay. We are actually down in numbers. We ended the year last year under 4,500 students, and this year we have a little bit under 43 at this point in time. Sometimes we get students after school starts, but I don't know that we're going to get a couple hundred students to make up for those numbers.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I appreciate you letting us know about that, and I know you'll be keeping an eye on it, so thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Let's turn to a more positive topic, which would be some test scores and some other results and things of how well your students are doing, and so we wanted to share that with folks as well. One of those is your ELA proficiency rates that we want to share with folks. Tell me about those.
Absolutely, Scott. I appreciate you asking about these. It's something that we don't do a very good job sometimes at CCSD as far as sharing our accomplishments and trying to bring students into our district. But we want people to understand that, especially recently, all of our indicators are moving in a positive direction. So what you have there is the NMMSSA, which is in the ELA, which is English Language Arts, which is basically the reading test.
Okay.
And as you can see, our proficiency rates have increased all across the board, from 3rd grade, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and all across the board. And our district average has increased. Now, I don't know if that's an accurate number on the end there. I believe it's 31.7, so we probably should have rounded that up instead of truncating it.
Make it 32%, right?
32.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we made 7 percentage point gains.
Okay.
So that's actually statistically significant. It's something that we don't do a very good job of letting people know. Our teachers are getting after it. And
Right.
we are showing improvements in reading rates, and that's something that has been a very big push throughout the state. So we're proud of that.
Nice.
And
Congratulations.
we're doing good things. And I'd like to thank our teachers, because they're the ones responsible, and of course our kids.
Yeah,
who are
sure.
working hard.
Right. And I'm looking at that 3rd grade number as well, because I've always heard that that's a really good indicator of how well students might do later in school if they're proficient at reading at 3rd grade. That really helps a lot of indicators as they move forward in the school system. Is that still true?
That is absolutely true, Scott. I appreciate you pointing that out, and that's something that we've been quite low in the 3rd grade numbers. We hope that those numbers continue to go up. 25% is not anywhere near where we'd want to be. So I hesitate to be too positive, but
Sure.
I do want everybody to understand that we do look at growth, and as long as we're making improvements and moving in the right direction, we're happy about that.
But you've seen an 11% increase according to this in
According
3rd
to that,
grade.
absolutely, Scott.
So-
Again, thank you to our 3rd grade teachers. They're doing some good things across the district.
Heading in the right direction. There's some other things to show as well. This is math, same kind of thing, right? And for your students and how they're doing well in the math classes and tests.
Again, Scott, if you look at that, we have made improvements kind of across the board, except for the 8th grade. 8th grade, we slipped a little bit. I don't want to make too many excuses for the 8th grade, but again, those are different groups of students. So kind of we're basically comparing apples with oranges when we look at these data. Those are the 8th graders on the left there from 23-24 school year, and the 8th graders on the right there from the 24-25 school year. And as you can see, they actually started out as 7th graders at 8%. So they had a kind of a low group. So we're actually making a little bit of progress with that group as well.
Right.
But we have a ways to go. Again, 17% is not fantastic. But again, it is growth. And we are seeing growth pretty much across the board, with the exception of that 3rd and the 8th grade right there, or 3rd where we stayed stagnant, 8th grade where we slipped a little bit.
Right, got you. And so I guess this year there's another focus then, maybe for your 9th grade teachers, maybe to help with those 8th graders from last year?
You know what? There's a focus across the board, Scott.
Across the district.
It's something that we want to make sure that our teachers understand, that our students, we have pockets where teachers are showing that our students are performing at levels above state averages. With some of our schools.
Right.
So we know it can happen, and so we want to let teachers know, let's expect that out of our students. So let's expect growth across the board, and let's get to those state averages, and then let's get above them.
There you go. Very good. And the last graph we want to share here are your other major test results, SAT and ACT. I think a lot of folks are familiar with those acronyms and how important those test scores can be for the future of a student maybe going on to school. So tell me about that.
Absolutely, Scott. On the left there you see the SAT, and on the right you see the ACT. You know, our state is kind of peculiar. Let me just say that right off the bat, because all the students are expected to take the SAT. The problem I have with that is that more colleges want to see the ACT results. So most of our students that want to go to college, everybody takes the SAT, and then most also have to take the ACT. So when we're comparing across the state and across national averages, not all students are taking the SAT across the nation. Mostly only college-bound students. The ACT, again, that's mostly college-bound students, but we do encourage our students to take that test. But again, as you can see over the last 3 years, consistent growth.
Right.
And that's
in both.
exactly, in both, both the SAT and the ACT. So we are moving in the right direction, and we will continue to move in the right direction. And that's again, that message we're doing a poor job of letting folks know. CCSD, we get some great teaching. We are seeing success, and we are seeing a lot of improvement.
Which is great. And again, kudos to your staff and your students and their parents or their guardians and the whole team that is helping those students succeed, right?
Exactly. Thanks for bringing up parents.
And showing
those.
those.
Remiss to not talk about parents as well.
Showing these growth, a big partner for you and your staff, I know.
Absolutely.
So that's important. Speaking of staff, that was another topic that I wanted to ask you a little bit about, and that is maybe some new staff that has joined the district, and tell me a little bit about some of those additions that you have made.
Absolutely, Scott. I appreciate that segue there. We do have some new positions. We have one of the things we're kind of really trying to do is bring students back for sports. We do tend to lose. This year alone, we've lost 65 students to Farmington School District. And that's at all different levels. There's elementary, middle, and high school. Sometimes it's because people move, okay? And other times, though, it's for athletic teams. And we want to make sure that students know we're trying to build athletic programs at CCSD as well.
Right.
And we do have some in place. I mean, everybody knows about the Kirtland girls basketball team, and not too long ago, the Shiprock girls basketball team, and we hope to bring them back.
Sure.
But what we decided to do is to bolster those sports programs. We're going to have a regional athletic coordinator in Kirtland at our 3 big communities, Kirtland, Shiprock, and Newcomb. And the goal of that is to ensure consistency at the middle school and high school levels for the different programs, to make sure all those programs have the ability to succeed and to grow. Because certain programs, we probably haven't done a good enough job of really hitting the youth and making sure that the middle school and high school programs have some sort of consistency and continuity.
Sure. Okay. Makes sense. And because they can be feeding athletes into your high school programs, right?
Absolutely.
I guess that's the idea.
If you think about programs from this area, I think most people probably think about Kirtland Central as one. Kirtland Central girls have been consistently excellent throughout the years. But there's other programs, if you think about it. I don't want to toot Farmington's horn too much, because they're already putting billboards up in our district to bring students to their schools. But that said, they do have softball teams at PV that everybody kind of knows about. They're excellent, and they've won many state championships. Back in the day, Aztec had wrestling teams. Right now, Bloomfield has a football team that everybody kind of knows about, and they're expected to contend for a state title once again. So we want to make sure that those are the kind of programs that we want to have in our district. So people say, hey, Shiprock students say, I want to stay in Shiprock because I know we have a program there. Newcomb students want to stay there, and we're not so much of a feeder school for Navajo Prep.
Got it. Very good.
Also, just quick,
sure.
Those regional athletic coordinators, they're not just really the core sports programs are focused on, but they're also maybe thinking like competitions like for chess club maybe, or just different avenues where it's not just the core sports that they're focused on, but they're also thinking of ways to bring in students into other competitions to compete. So that's just more on their plate to consider and get students involved in their schools.
Very good, right, and that's a great idea. And I think and these positions, are these grant funded? Are they coming from other places? Or you're just able to work those into the budget?
Those positions are actually operationally funded, which the athletic coordinators, the types of programs we've had, those have always been operational.
Got
and the
it.
state does fund some for that.
Right.
We do have, since you brought up grant funded positions, we have a couple positions that are still open. Some of them have just been posted. It's kind of a tough time of the year to post positions because we tend to end up bringing people from within, or if we hire somebody, they may have to travel great distances to get here. But we do have community school facilitator positions. That's something the state made a big push the last couple of years to open up community schools. And I don't know if you know the community of Shiprock or Newcomb very well, but especially like down in Newcomb, but also in Shiprock and some in Kirtland, there are not a lot of amenities in those communities. So what we want to do is we want to bring things into the school, and we need somebody to kind of coordinate that, and that's the thought of the state. So
I see,
the state
right.
funded these positions a couple of years ago. They've pulled back on that funding kind of like a bait and switch, where they say, hey, we're gonna provide you with these coordinators at $150,000 per school, and then they said, no, we're just kidding, it's $40,000 per school. So what we're ended up having to do is share, and so we have a coordinator at OHO, Amarillo School, and Kirtland Middle School. They're sharing that position, and then we have Eva B. Stokely. We also have Newcomb and Nos Chitty program. So we are looking for community school coordinators. So if you know anybody out there, actually they're called facilitators.
Okay.
If you know anybody out there, they'll be going to those schools and trying to bring community into the school. That's
Got it.
very important.
Yeah, very good. And I guess the idea being, too, as you mentioned, the schools in many communities are kind of that focal point, for whether it's athletics or the athletic fields, and folks can use them for recreation or what have you when they're not being used by the schools and your coaches, or maybe some of the other facilities, libraries, and things like that. Is that kind of some of the thinking about having that community school concept?
Absolutely. I mean, if you go to our schools, take Newcomb, for instance, we just had a program called Drums of Summer. And if you went there anytime between, I think it was between 6 o'clock and 9 something at night, you might have seen 200, 300, 400 people in the stands. And that's something that you don't see that many people down in that area, but they're coming from the communities all around there.
Right, right.
And so if you go to a sports game, go to a football game, go to a basketball game, they're packed. They're full of people in the stands. And we want to bring all the community people and let them know, these are your schools. Come on in.
Right.
We need to do a better job.
And that's what that facilitator can help to do,
We
is what
hope
you're
so.
saying.
That's what we plan on.
Got it.
And for anyone listening
Yeah.
too, I think if you really do want, if you're curious about a community school and what that looks like, I think Kirtland Middle School is a great community school to look into,
Right.
and just see if, what that's about. I mean, there's tons of resources. That whole staff is prepared to just present to you what community schools is and what they have available for their community. I would definitely recommend checking out Kirtland Middle School if anyone interested.
Okay, very good. That could be a good model, I guess, for the concept
Yeah.
in other communities,
And
is what
I
you're saying?
think that's actually where it did start, was in Kirtland Middle School. That's where our community schools began, and then
Right.
it branched out to our other regions. So definitely, Kirtland Middle School is the one that started the whole program here in district.
Very good. Excellent. And you're expanding that throughout the district, I guess it sounds like, or what you're trying to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
With these other facilitators. So very, very good.
We do have one more.
One more, pardon me. Let me come back to you.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you going on with that.
No, that's all right. We'll get to it.
So this is actually one that's grant funded.
Yeah.
So what our state tries to do, and I can talk about this a little bit later if you want to know about an LESC meeting that's coming up.
Right.
The state tries to do is they try to fund different things at the elementary level. So there's been a science of reading initiative, which has been real important. But what they'd really like to do is improve math at the elementary level, because if you saw, math scores were quite a bit lower than ELA scores, and they tend to be throughout the state. So
Right.
if you look at various schools throughout the state, you'll see that over and over again, the math scores are kind of lagging. So what they did is they weren't able to pass legislation to fund adequately throughout the state, but they went ahead and threw out some grants. So there's a grant opportunity where we can employ math coaches in each of our region. So we have an elementary math coach position in Shiprock, one in Kirtland, and one in Newcomb. So if you know anybody out there who just knows the standards of elementary math, send them our way, because we need to have math coaches in our elementaries.
Gotcha. And these coaches are working with your teachers or your students, or both?
They will be working mostly with teachers, but I'm sure they can work some with students as well.
Got it. Okay. And you've got about 3 positions open for that?
We got 3
spot?
open right now. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Very good. Well, there you go. And again, folks can go online, I imagine, ccsdnm.org, thank you, to apply or to find out more about these positions that we're talking about?
ccsdnm.org/apply for a job is
Okay.
where they can exactly go. And when they
The
hop on the
direct link.
website, if they hop onto our website, up on the top, you'll see a tab open there to view our positions.
Open positions currently. Okay. Very good. See, someone has been coordinating that. Probably you, Jerrod Noble. So that's why you know all about it. Very good. Now I want to show this screen and this slide about some other community engagement and family meetings that are happening in the district as well. And these are happening. I guess one is this week, and then you got a couple more coming up in September.
Yes. Do you want me to talk about that?
Sure.
Too? Okay. So yes, the community engagement meetings are something we've done for the last several years. We really want to get community out to these meetings, so we do a pretty good job of Jerrod does a good job of advertising to make sure we get people out. And so we go from 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock, and these are on Wednesdays. The first one is this Wednesday. It's at the Kirtland Bond Wilson Technical Center. Hopefully folks know where that is. It's right behind Judy Nelson Elementary School.
Right.
And we do offer a dinner. And so what we do is we have all of our different departments kind of give an overview of what's going on with their departments. I'll probably be sharing some information that I just shared as far as test results.
Sure.
But then everybody else will talk about kind of what's going on with operations, what's going on with finance, what's going on with human resources, all of our different departments. And so that'll last until probably close to 7 or so, and then we take community questions. We get quite a few. We have different kind of questions, obviously, and comments by the community, but we put out some cards and we ask people to go ahead and write down some questions. And we're happy to answer any questions you might have because we're here for you. But we really want to drum up support this year and get as many folks out as we can. We do have a link. Jerrod will provide a link, so if you want to hop on and ask your questions virtually, you can do that as well.
Oh, good. Okay. Very, very good. And so the same kind of format at all 3 of these
Exact
meetings,
same
right?
format,
Just
yep.
in different locations, so make it convenient for folks to be able to show up and attend
Yeah,
and
everything's
enjoy
exactly the
dinner.
same.
Sounds
Yeah,
like to
there
me.
you go. Everything's exactly the same. I try to tell a little different joke at each one.
That's good.
But
yeah.
other than
okay.
that, other than
Fair
that,
enough.
it's the same.
There you go. Very good. And it's you and who else? Is it members of the administration, some school board folks? Who all is there?
So it'll be all the directors, basically the cabinet, but also some coordinators, central office folks, really trying to let people know, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing in transportation. Here's what we're doing in food service. Here's our human resources programs that we have, all the different things we do throughout the district.
Got you. And so I guess if you get a specific question from the audience, you'll have someone there who could probably answer that question.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We also have like principals joining from each region. So
Right,
if you're,
smart.
In the Kirtland region, we have like our OHO principals and elementary, high school. They're all there for their regions too, so they're answering questions for their schools.
Very good. And again, you've got 3 locations and 3 dates, and that kind of covers the major locations of the district. And so that's probably by design as well.
It is by design.
Yeah.
We want to make it convenient. We don't want anyone to travel very far. Obviously, Newcomb folks, if they're traveling from Newcomb to Shiprock, we want to come to them. Obviously, we want to support them, and they have families to take care of, and so we're going to make the trip out there to make it easy for them.
There you go. And again, the times that these get started again on these dates is going to be what time?
5 o'clock, we'll serve that food right away and let people get a plate, and we'll have a blessing, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start the meeting.
Okay. All right. Very good. That's coming up. Again, the first one is this week, everyone, August 27th at the Kirtland Bond Wilson Technical Center, and then September 3rd, and then September 3rd at the Shiprock Boardroom, and September 24th at the Newcomb Middle School Gym, just for a radio audience who can't see the graphic on the screen. So that's the information for that. Some other photos we wanted to share about a recent gathering, Mr. Carlson. This is something else that you've been involved with. I know you're in a couple of these photos as well.
Absolutely. So this is, you can see the photo that everybody can see on the board, or except for the radio folks.
Yeah.
We do
They miss out. I always tell them they need to watch a screen when they're listening to the show. That's right.
So these are community meetings that the state ran, and they asked people from across the state. They're getting ready to work on the Yazzie Martinez action plan, and I don't know how much I need to describe about that.
We've talked about it before on this
Talked about it
program,
before.
but it's been an ongoing issue for
Yes.
years and a major lawsuit, and so that was finally settled, and so I guess this is the next step after that settlement. Is
And
that
here's
the
the
idea?
thing, though, is that it's just been stalled this whole time, and then I think the court and some legislators kind of just nudged the peg a little bit more to say, where's the action plan? Like, where are we at with this? So I think they kind of just set a hard deadline with them finally. So this is where you're finally seeing focus groups from all different parts of New Mexico to finally get this action plan together and getting community input. So
Gotcha.
obviously our demographics very unique because we serve a lot of our Native American students. So this action plan suits our district and our students very well. I mean, it shapes the action plan. So yeah, I mean, this is something that we're hopefully, we'll have the action plan soon. But, in this meeting, we saw 3 different categories to where the community suggests more PD and more language revitalization to bring Native American language back into classrooms. So they saw a lot of priorities with that. So there's a lot of priorities that the PED saw with these focus groups, and they took that from a couple weeks ago.
Gotcha. And if I remember correctly, the lawsuit came about because there was a concern that Native American students weren't getting equal or enough educational opportunities as non-Native American students in the state of New Mexico. It was a major statewide lawsuit. Is that kind of the gist of that?
And so it was actually what it was is several lawsuits were put together.
Thank you.
And those lawsuits actually dealt with gifted students, special education students, and,
Right.
and students of color, not just Native Americans.
Thank you. Okay, but that was, and it was the state being sued basically to say you need to do better, and
Yes.
and this is the action plan that hopefully will let them do better.
Yes,
And
that's
districts like Central will hopefully see the results of this and be able to maybe get some more funding. I think is all what it comes down to help your students, your Native American students, and others to excel.
Absolutely. And the state has done some things, Scott. Just so you know, there's actually funding where there's what's called a factor for ELL students.
Right.
The students with a high number of ELL students are given a little bit of extra money for those students
Sure.
in the SEG.
But this would be even more so, I would think.
Hopefully, yes.
Once this process goes through. But this is some shots of the pictures of the different meetings and the different groups that are getting together to provide input, I guess, about
Yes.
these action plans.
Hopefully, if you look at these pictures, and those who can't, I'm going to go ahead and describe a little bit. But at the meeting here in Farmington, it was held at the Sycamore Community Center, and we had probably half of the folks that were there were actually from CCSD. As you can see, there's a board member, Gary Montoya, on here. Previous slide had Christina Aspes, another board member from CCSD. That's Christina right there. But a lot of the folks right there, if you go back to that next slide, are folks that I'm going to be meeting with in our cabinet meeting soon. There's Cheryl Benally right there and Rodney Armenta right to her left. And I'm in the background there listening.
By the
Right.
way, a Navajo teacher that's in our district sitting right next to him too. So I mean, we had all of our
Nice.
teachers even joining these focus groups and
Right.
giving their input.
Very good. Excellent. Well, that's really important. And again, this is a major step forward, I guess, after years of maybe no action on this lawsuit and the settlement. So we'll see what happens. But I know you'll come back and share the results, and hopefully when you get them. So that would be important. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
So very good. And a couple more shots here of this group that was getting together. And this was a regional gathering. It sounds like to me it wasn't just Central Schools. It was other districts as well that would be impacted by this.
Exactly,
Which includes all
Scott.
of them in San Juan County.
Yeah, so they actually have these meetings, had them throughout the state. So they were down in Albuquerque and Las Cruces. I think there was one in Artesia. There was one in Española. Might have been one in Gallup.
Gotcha.
But anyway, throughout the state, because they're gathering information. Just one other thing real quick about it.
Yeah.
So the PED, the PED, Public Education Department, is working with LANL, the Los Alamos National Labs.
Right.
They're collaborating to put these things on, and they're the ones that are going to come up with the action plan.
Got it. Okay. Pretty smart people at LANL, so we'll see what they come up with. So
you go.
there you are. This is a shot from the San Juan County Fair, I believe, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take too much time, but this is just, we're really proud of these students. Last week, the San Juan County Fair happened, and when the fair happens, almost all of our FFA kids attend.
Yeah.
And so Superintendent and I on Tuesday went out there and saw the first shows, which was the Lamb and Go shows, and that happened through the morning and through the afternoon. And then just something where the competition was happening, the shows was happening, I ran into a parent, and there was basically like 12 categories or 12 events happening during the Lamb show, and that parent said, he pointed out that 10 out of the 12 students, or 10 out of the 12 events were all Kirtland kids.
Nice.
And so that
Okay.
just, kind of just sparked an idea in my head, like, wow, like our FFA kids are doing really well at these
Sure.
competitions. So what you're seeing behind you, Scott, is, or in the slideshow, is that these kids have all of our FFA kids have earned awards. They've competed very well. The program at Kirtland has actually earned national recognition as a 2-star rating FFA chapter in the state. So
Nice.
there's a few others in the state, but our Kirtland students have received national recognition for their FFA, their club.
Nice. And their efforts at the fair, it sounds like, too. So that's
Yes.
great.
So,
Very good.
so real quick, I want to highlight a few students. Kylie Thompson did really well. She's earned overall grand champion lamb, and multiple lamb classes where she earned champion in those categories. Heath Finch did really well. He's also a child of a FFA teacher in Shiprock, so he did remarkable with grand champion in market goats. and Dylan Carlisle earned Grand Champion Heifer. Bryce Sanders earned 3rd overall in Senior Showmanship. Blaine James, Reserve overall Junior Showmanship. Caleb Thompson, 4th overall Senior Showman. And Paisley Foster, 5th overall Junior Showman. And then just some other students with standout performances. Deshaun Etzedy, Fallon Carlson, Holt James, Zach Decker, Yesenia Pedrosa. Correct, sir? These are all probably your kids.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Clay Carlson and Cassidy Garcia, who's also Cassidy is a Kirtland Middle School student in the programs. And then from Shiprock High School, we had Samantha Shorty, earned reserve champion in Lamb and placing 3rd in Heifer. And we also had Shakari Frazier, who's also the chapter president, I believe, for our Four Corners region for FFA. So
nice.
So yeah, kids doing really well. And I just want to end with this too, where Vicky Lake, she's our Shiprock High FFA teacher,
right.
agricultural teacher, and she earned national recognition for being a teacher ambassador for the nation.
Wow.
I think there's 60 others that were selected, so she's one of those out of the nation to help over 60,000 FFA chapters,
nice.
advocating for students, being there for teachers, teaching them, giving them professional development. So we're really proud of Vicky and for her to, take Shiprock High and run the FFA program. She's done really well, and she deserves this recognition.
Indeed. Very good. Well, congratulations to her and to all of your students for the results from the fair, and great way to show off a lot of hard work. I know that's not easy to kind of deal with an animal throughout the year and then get them ready to go for the fair. So that's a great job. Just a couple minutes remaining, Mr. Carlson. You want to talk about your LASC experiences coming up, I guess?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Scott, thanks for asking about that. So I don't know if everybody knows this. Throughout the state, our legislature has a bunch of different groups that meet, and they meet throughout the year, and they're so dedicated. They meet very often. So, and 2 of the most important ones, one is the LASC, which is the Legislative Education Study Committee, and then the LFC, which is the Legislative Finance Committee. The LASC is a group of senators and legislators who basically work together to make education better throughout the state. And so what they're really trying to do is talk to people and find out what's working and what's not working, so that they go ahead and when it gets time to fund schools
right.
through legislation, they have a better idea what they want to focus on. And so what they do is they bring in superintendents from across the state and they ask us questions. And so this September 3rd, I'll be traveling down to Gallup, and I'll be meeting with superintendents from the area. Mike Hyatt from Gallup will be there. Cody Deal from here in Farmington. I believe Randy Stickney from Zuni will be there. And so we'll be talking to legislators about what's working in reading,
right.
What's working in math, and obviously since we've got some improvements going, hopefully I should have a lot to say to them.
Right, very cool. And again, I guess that helps to get some legislation maybe proposed at the upcoming session in 2026.
Absolutely,
from these
Scott.
meetings.
It's a difficult position that we have legislators in, trying to figure out how to fund the schools.
Yeah.
And they want to do what's best for students. They want to do what's best for families, but they also want to see results. So that the LFC, the Legislative Finance Committee, they ask some difficult questions, and they want to see progress.
Sure.
And so they say, we're funding your schools, we're adequately funding your schools, we're paying teachers better than they get in surrounding states. When are we going to see those results? And hopefully I can say, well, you can see them right now.
Yeah. At least from Central.
There you
so
go.
There you are. Very good. Thank you both for coming in this morning and sharing some of the successes as this new school year gets underway at the Central Consolidated School District. I always appreciate your time. I know you're both very busy, so thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
You
It's
bet.
a privilege.
Good to see you both.
Thank
My guests from Central Consolidated Schools here with me on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.